So we want to now thank and welcome two of our sponsors to present information about their work with mobile learning. First, I want to welcome Janet Davis from Verizon. Verizon is creating global connections that drive innovation and provide the critical agility that governments and educational institutions need to compete in today's rapidly moving educational landscape. I've done some work with the Verizon Foundation, which also is a major force and certainly has been a champion of mobile learning. Janet Davis is the Associate Director of Wireless Education Strategy and Sales Support at Verizon. She helps to drive the overall education community in both K-12 and higher education, to infrastructures and to increase mobility. And she has over 20 years of experience in the business world, including work in finance, marketing, business development, and sales. So, Janet, welcome, and please come and tell us about your mobile work.
Thank you so much, and thank you for introducing us and for allowing us to be here today. It's an exciting time in education. I have two children that are going through the process of school, one that just entered junior high and one that's in elementary school. It's exciting to see what's happening and how they want to be engaged in school. Today, we're seeing transformation because teachers are teaching differently, students want to be engaged differently, and administration wants to look at their world differently. Educational technology is moving us forward, not backwards. And it's touching every part of our life so that now we can look at how it can improve the classroom. When we look at technology, we want it to come alive in the classroom. And the way we're looking at mobile learning is not calling it mobile learning, but calling it digital one-to-one device learning. We're being specific because it is a one-to-one. We've done technology. We've done technology in education for years. Now let's take it to the new level. When you combine a tablet with our 4G network, you're helping students, I was going to say become engaged, but I learned that they want to become efficient and effective. But the reality is we want our students to want to go to school. We want them to be engaged so that they can actually take themselves to the next level. We want teachers to have the data so that they can actually personalize learning. That's not happening today in most instances. What we want to be able to do is take our understanding of the network and what we provide and help schools take that into the classroom and take technology so that we are meeting the demands of the 21st century. But it's not just about the mobile learning. It's also about helping administrators, superintendents, principals, the support staff also become more efficient because they're an integral part of this. And that's part of what Verizon also does through our technology. We have a lot of collaboration tools, whether you're talking about real live video feed, whether you're talking about the ability to download files, whether you're talking about being able to teleconference. The ability for your team, whether that's in the school, whether that's in the administration, to be productive no matter where you're at is part of the story as well. Tablets can do that. Our 4G network can do that. It's bringing it all together so that people can move forward holistically, not just in bits and pieces. And I realize that we might have some IT people in the room. I know you stay up at night thinking, how am I going to get this all done? And I had a great conversation at breakfast. The reality is we have redundancy and different security that we can put in place so that you can sleep at night. We're proud as Verizon to say we have the largest 4G LTE network in the nation. We're now covering over 230 million people and increasing that every day. But it's not just about the speed, the latency, and the devices, the world I live in. It's about the innovation we're doing on our network and what it's able to provide. The application and the services that will continue to develop and allow you to be able to take that into the classroom and move our students forward. Innovation is one of the key reasons we're able to stay connected to one another without having to worry about connectivity and able to react in real time. That's where we're going, and that's what we need to do. This helps us not only be able to help our students, but as was pointed out, it's also about communicating with our parents and our community. As was brought up, we also have our foundation. I'm very proud of the work that our foundation does. Many of you are aware of our Thinkfinity. Thinkfinity is one of our platforms that we actually have out there where parents and students, as well as teachers and educators, can take advantage of free lesson plans and interactive instructional material, all provided there free by our foundation. This comprehensive website is also offered in tens of thousands of resources and professional development opportunities. But in addition to our great services that we have, our network that we have, in addition to our foundation, I also want to share with you in closing just a little bit about what we're doing from a marketing perspective to help students actually go to the next level in an urban area. So with that, if we can tee up the video.
A couple months ago, we sat down with Verizon and we talked about how we could partner. And so at the time we were talking about tutoring and that type of thing. And then we started talking about what the real needs are. At the time, the real need was to have our students improve their SAT scores so that they can ultimately go to college. And so we started thinking about, should we provide technology in the classroom or should we create something really exciting? So we came up with the concept of having an SAT bus, where we'd gut out a bus and then put technology in it, put some good software in it, have a partnership with a local university or college, and have the students actually be tutored by college students using great technology and preparing for the SAT. And so this is what happened. This great mobile learning laboratory provided by Verizon Wireless and also in partnership with Morgan State University is one of the greatest learning experiences that our students could possibly have.
The tab is the program. It helps us learn more Spanish. It translates for us and all that. And we get to interact with the other students in here.
It's less confusion.
Yeah, that's
like
the word.
A big old chat, man. Everybody, you can watch videos, do classwork, take tests, all that type of stuff.
Our test score is on a 3-part SAT test, which again you can get 2,400 points. We're hovering around 1,000 for 1,100. That's not going to get a student into a quality college. So as a result, we saw a number of students going to college or getting their start into community college for economic reasons and also because of their SAT scores. So now they have an opportunity with being excited about studying for the SATs to really get their scores up higher.
Right, because the teacher got help more. It's like 30 people in the class, so instead of the teacher helping just one person, the teacher can help everybody just on that tablet, just by chat, because it's one big chat website. So she can communicate with everybody and still help everybody at the same time.
Our students are so tired of tradition. They want to do things that are exciting, things that will engage them in learning, things that they would come to school for every day, and things that are actually going to make a difference in their lives. So with an enthusiastic teacher, set of enthusiastic teachers, and students who are excited about learning, the school can move forward.
So while we feel like we've done a great job up to this point, our credo at Verizon says, that's great. You've done your best today, but tomorrow you will do better. The reality is, we want to do better because it's going to impact every piece of your world and the future of our country and the future of this world. So I want to thank you for being here, for partaking in this conference, for listening, for debating, and for having great conversations. But most importantly, let's move forward, because it's through that we are actually going to achieve where we ultimately want to be, and that's working together to have our students and have the United States, in particular, because that's where I'm from, be the #1 in the world again. This is where we're at, and this is where we need to go. Thank you, and I appreciate your time today.
Janet, thank you, and thanks to Verizon for serving as a sponsor. I now want to introduce Lauren Dawes, who is head of mlearning, Mobile for Development for GSMA. The GSMA is a nonprofit trade association that represents the interests of mobile operators worldwide. Spanning more than 220 countries, the GSMA unites nearly 800 of the world's mobile operators, as well as more than 200 companies in the broader mobile ecosystem. Lauren Dawes has been a member of the GSMA Mobile for Development program since 2008 and leading on the mlearning program for almost 3 years. I saw Lauren most recently at the Education conference here in Washington, D.C. about a month ago that was sponsored by USAID and the World Bank and UNESCO, and that brought together people from developing countries all across the world sharing what they're doing with mobile learning. In the time that Lauren has been at GSMA, she's researched and published reports, case study papers, and spoken at numerous international events. She also sits on the advisory board for the development of the UNESCO policy paper development and is a steering committee of the Mobiles for Education Alliance. So, Lauren, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Great picture. Love Photoshop. Thanks, Chris, and thanks, Chris and Julie, for the great introduction. I felt like they covered mobile learning and education and technology so deeply we could all pretty much go home now. However, we're not. We've got a great couple of days ahead of us. The GSMA is one of the sponsors this year for the wireless EdTech. I'm here kind of wearing two hats. I'm representing our mobile education project, which sits as part of our Connected Living program, and also for the program that I run, Mobile Learning, which sits in our Mobile for Development project. So the GSMA is the trade association for mobile network operators globally. We've got around 800 mobile operator members and more than 200 associate members within the mobile ecosystem. The Mobile Education project, as I said, is part of our Connected Living project. So they look more at business-to-business opportunities using SIM-enabled devices in the more developed world in mainstream education scenarios. So some of the focus areas, they look at how mobile technology can enhance teaching assessment, including curriculum, attendance monitoring, e-assessment, more formative than summative assessment, but I will be showing a video. So these are the slides, and then the video that I'll be showing is for our mobile education project. That will be just in a couple of minutes. The example on the video is more summative assessment. It shows an example, a pilot study in using iPads, and students are actually taking exams on the iPads. And then also looking at remote device management, which is perhaps where the project team sees the biggest opportunity for mobile operators. So some of the resources that the team has put out. Earlier this year, they commissioned McKinsey to do a global market study where they identified a $70 billion opportunity for mobile learning products and services. So that's an early retirement for anyone that manages to tap into that. They also have done some deep country dives on some of the more mature mobile education markets. So these reports and all these resources are available online and are free for anyone to access and download. They've also developed an evaluation framework. The framework's in two parts. The first part is introducing some of the key concepts and themes around evaluation. And then the second part is a toolkit that's designed to help educators to evaluate different mobile learning products in different scenarios. They're currently trialing that framework, and after that, it will be available online. So they're just refining it. And then the key activities that the project focuses on is just brokering relationships and stimulating trials. So working with educators and connecting them to mobile operators in order to try and stimulate trials in these mainstream classroom, mainstream education scenarios. Jill Adwell is the person to contact. She heads up the program. I'll flick her details up again at the end. But now I'm just going to show, I think, about a 4-minute video that the project team has been working on.
The GSMA represents nearly 800 mobile operators and over 6 billion connections worldwide. Our work in mobile education is bringing the mobile and education industries together to accelerate the adoption of mobile education services. We've identified a number of educational scenarios where the use of mobile-enabled handheld technology can deliver significant benefits. This case study from Japanese operator SoftBank Mobile Corporation, an active member of our program, is an excellent example of how mobile can assist out-of-classroom education. As cloud computing becomes the norm for many large corporations, one of Japan's newest private universities also sees it as an opportunity to create an innovative learning environment. Cyber University is a wholly owned subsidiary of SoftBank Corporation, one of Japan's leading telecommunications and internet companies. Established in 2007 in Fukuoka, today the university offers a wide range of courses with an emphasis on technology, practical business subjects and social media. Unlike traditional universities offering distance learning courses, Cyber University students are not required to attend tutorials and examinations on campus, but can still earn a fully certified bachelor degree.
The Cyber University offers much greater learning opportunities to those who seek college degrees but cannot afford the time to attend classes in their busy life. In other words, they don't have to sacrifice their income to make time to go to college.
仕事と両立できたり通わなくてもいいところですかね。
時間が自由に使える点と現職で働いている方と交流できるところですね。
Student study hours are maximized by making all learning materials and class activity records available in a cloud-based environment. Cloud learning enables students to access all the course materials, perhaps notes taken in class or discussions with their professors and classmates, through any kind of device.
We learned that mobile devices enhance students' study hours, not necessarily because they can use their own subway trains or commuting buses, but because they can initiate their learning process instantly and conveniently in a way that is not possible with desktops and laptops.
Earlier this year, the university decided it was time to take away the constraints for the PC to include mobile technologies, thereby making its courses available to students anytime and anywhere. In June, the university began loaning iPad 2 tablets with 3G and Wi-Fi connectivity to its students. Its app integrates the course content and class communication tools into a single interface. Students now only use desktop browsers when they have to.
The learning materials on the iPad 2 are the same as any that the students have access to with any browsers or PC and Mac. The key concept here is that we made learning materials available to the students independent of the access devices.
CC ハンディはすぐ受講できるので、高いモチベーションの時に受講が可能というコメントはすごく納得感がありました。
How does the university not only ensure that students are attending their lectures, but that they are who they say they are? And what happens at exam time?
There are two major features that differentiate Cyber University's distance learning initiative from others. One is its biometric authentication system, which is used to identify students and provide class attendance credit for both desktop and mobile devices. As the iPad 2 has a CCD camera in front, we have been able to implement the authentication component in our iPad. Since Cloud Campus is literally a cloud-based system, along with the mobile applications, it could be shared with other universities and educational institutes. By sharing the common cloud-based learning platform, universities and their students can attend the courses at other universities for credit without commuting among campuses. We hope to see such university communities develop to share academic resources and enhance the learning experiences for students.
Okay, so that wasn't quite the Three Little Pigs, and I'm not sure who laid the soundtrack for that, but still a great case study. So I'm going to put my other hat on now and talk more about the mobile learning project that we have within our Mobile for Development team. So our Mobile for Development team focuses on developing markets and looking at emerging market solutions and how mobile technology can play an enabling role to services like money, health, closing the gender gap. So we talked about equity and ownership. We've got a project that looks at trying to close the ownership gap in ownership and access gap in mobile technology for women. We did a research report about 2 years ago with the Sherry Blair Foundation that identified a 300 million gap between men and women. So we've got projects around agriculture as well, and also looking at mobile learning. The way we run our programs is that we do a lot of research around trying to develop business cases, looking at how we can create sustainable and scalable models around mobile services. We work very closely with the donor community and also the development community, NGOs, and also bringing them together with the commercial world representing the mobile operators. So the Mobile Learning Program is dedicated to promoting the equitable use and access of mobile technology to deliver life-enhancing services. So looking more beyond classroom math, science topics and looking more at 21st century skills, critical thinking, and vocational training. So we did a piece of research last year, which we put out this year. We went into 4 different countries, Uganda, Ghana, I've just fallen down a hole in the stage, Uganda, Ghana, Morocco, and India. And we spoke to the youth market, so 15 to 25-year-olds. And what quickly learned was that learning does not occur for learning's sake. There needed to be this direct link to employment opportunities, financial security, and being able to secure a better life for themselves. So we talk about content being localized or contextualized, but what we really saw is it needs to be valuable. People need to perceive value in the content that you're delivering to them. So we saw that 39% wanted to develop skills, and this was, again, not maths, not necessarily science. It was, I want you to send me a message giving me a new recipe for my catering business. 30% were really concerned about job and career, and then 21% were concerned about money and finances. Just 25% of those that we surveyed cited school or university as their main source of information and learning, which I think really highlights this opportunity for more informal, outside of classroom learning, innovation and technology. 41% said that friends or family, not actually Sesame Street characters, were their main source of information, and 43% said television. Informal methods of accessing job information were also more popular than job agencies, which were just 4%. We asked in the focus discussion groups, if I was moving to your town and I wanted to get a job, how would I go about doing that? And the answer was always, you need to know someone, either your uncle, your friend, you need to be connected to someone. There was no real formal methods for getting jobs. And there's some great examples of how SMS is being used to connect people to jobs. And if anyone's heard of Souktel, it's a great example of this that's happening in multiple countries in developing markets. I put this quote up as well. I think it was really impactful. I don't know companies and you don't know if they're looking at your CV. In schools, they have a method of showing how to write CVs and how to apply for training, but not all schools though. And then we face barriers because we don't know what the job market requires. I think that really shows that these skills that are being taught in classrooms are not necessarily the practical or required skills for getting out and getting into employment and getting a good job. And then I love this slide. Anyone that's seen me present this before, this is always my favorite. The #1 asset for 74% of the youths that we surveyed was a mobile phone. So that was #1. #2 was clothes and shoes. So 74% of youths would rather be naked with a mobile phone. The others, fixed PC, 21%, and 21% was television. And then again, just to highlight how embedded in the lives of youths mobile phones are, we asked them in these focus discussion groups, again, what would you do or how would you feel if we took your mobile from you? Like a body part has broken off. It's impossible to get rid of it. It's normal. One of the guys that we asked, he actually grabbed at his phone thinking that we were about to take it away from him. And then the age-old question that everyone used to ask, can you actually learn from a mobile phone? So we asked the youth this question, and 63% of them said that they believed that they could learn from a mobile handset. And this went up to 78% when we gave them access to data-enabled handsets. And then I just want to give you a quick demo of some of the online tools that we've got. We've just launched our mobile learning tracker. Hopefully this works. No, it's not going to work. Carry on. Basically, it's a tracker of all the mobile learning projects that we've uncovered in developing markets. This tool is available online for everyone to use. I encourage people to get on there. You can upload new information, so you can put your organization on there. Basically, that map, where all those red dots are, show all the mobile learning projects that we've uncovered in developing markets. You click onto the red dot and it pulls up a list of all the different projects. You can then click down further into that and you can have a look at the organizations that are involved. It's often got launch dates, as much data as we were able to collect for it. And then some of the other activities that Chris mentioned, on the advisory board for the UNESCO policy papers. I always sit as a steering committee member for the Mobiles for Education Alliance. I know Anthony Bloom is here to present, so he'll be able to give you a bit more information on that. We also keep developing best practices, case studies, and really doing research around the impact of mobile technology on the lives of people. And then we're about to do some multi-country research, again, looking at the link between mobile learning, mobile money services, and youth employment and unemployment. For any further information, I've put Jill's info up there again, and also mine. Thank you very much. Thanks for letting the GSMA present on the work that we're doing. I hope some of it's been of interest to you, and enjoy the rest of the conference.